Sorry. Coming up next, tune in for our new segment called Alumni Talk with me, the Alumni Director, Delyssa Edwards. Stay tuned to find out what's coming up. Hello, welcome to Alumni Talk. I'm Delyssa Edwards, the Director of Alumni Relations here at the University of Rio Grande. I am very excited to be here to share with you some news about alumni, to talk about upcoming events, and to hopefully get you involved in what's going on here on campus if you're alumni. So if you are alumni, thanks for tuning in. I have a lot of information to give you today, and I really hope that you'll be engaged with the Rio Grande Alumni Association. So you may be asking yourself, what is the Rio Grande Alumni Association? Well, once you attend Rio and graduate, you actually become a member automatically. There's no fees involved. We don't really ask for any participation, but we want you to be engaged with us once you leave. We are the group on campus that cares about what you do with your life after you graduate, whether with your career, your personal life, what you do, where you go. We want to know that. So our whole entire mission statement, for example, is to really engage you with Rio once you leave and to build on those relationships. You may be a former athlete watching the show right now and think, hey, how can I help the current athletic program? Well, get involved. Call me. I'll tell you exactly what you can do. You may be a class of 65 that's actually interested in when are we going to have a reunion. I'm the person that you need to call. Call me up and I'll let you know. So about the Rio Grande Alumni Association, besides all the events that we have on campus for our former students and our graduates, we have chapters actually established throughout all parts of Ohio, Kentucky, and we're actually working in some other areas. For instance, we had a chapter event not too long ago in Cleveland, Ohio, and it was a wonderful turnout. We had sent out mailings to those alumni in the area. We said, hey, join us. We're going to go to Pickwick and Frolic. And there's a picture right there of the group that turned out. We had a wonderful time. Nick Costas, who is a grad, is the owner of Pickwick and Frolic, which is actually right there on East and 4th Street. If you're ever in Cleveland, please stop by. He will definitely entertain you as he did our group. We had young alumni show up as well as some of our seasoned alumni, and we had a wonderful time. So see, that's just a little example of what we do through our chapter events. We've also had events in Columbus, Ohio, where we had a huge turnout. About 60 alums showed up for that event. It was at the Montgomery Inn. Usually our chapter events, we try to meet at a restaurant. We provide the appetizers, and then if you want to, you can have dinner on your own. We try to have a representative from Rio Grande, from the Administrative Council, to provide you updates about what's going on at Rio. I try to give updates from the alumni perspective about what we have going on and ways to get you involved. And even we've had coaches that's gone to events, such as this one in Cincinnati. We had some of our soccer coaches attend with us to talk to some prospective students in that area. So not only are we talking with alums when we travel, but we're talking with students that may be interested in coming to Rio Grande. And that's something that our alums should be doing, is really talking to anyone that you know that may have children that are thinking about going to college, to talk to them about why they should come to Rio and share your Rio memories. Here we have a Kentucky, Ashland, Kentucky chapter. We went to the museum there in Kentucky where the Beefo Francis memorabilia was on display as part of a traveling exhibit through the Smithsonian. And we had a great turnout there of former athletes and those that knew Bevo and knew about his legacy here at Rio Grande, and we had a really fun time. So our chapter events, like I said, are everywhere. We are going to all parts of Ohio. We're actually working on trying to get to the Carolinas. So if you know someone that graduated from RIO that is living in North or South Carolina, please have them contact me. We're looking forward to traveling there. Something we also do is go to Florida, usually around February. We have a lot of alums living in Florida, and we try to get down there because that's always a nice trip for our office to visit with alums while they're nice and warm on the beaches of Florida. And so if you're in Florida, or if you know of someone, have them contact us. And that's what we need to do. We need to develop these relationships with our alums wherever they are, wherever you know of alums are. We're wanting to reach out and get their information and get their updated address so we can stay in contact, because we really do care about what you're doing with your life after RIO. Some other things that we are doing is right now we're actually working on having an event on Founders Day. And you may know that the very first classes of RIO Grande were held September 13th, 1876. It was a Tuesday. That was the first time we had class here. Nehemiah and Pamelia Atwood had that dream, and they saw it come to life September 13th. So from now on, we have Founders Day on a Tuesday. This year it's actually September 11th, and we have a huge day planned of activities. Beginning in the morning, we will be having speaker Dr. Robert Lawson, who is a 73 grad. He is a motivational speaker. Now, something interesting about Robert Lawson, he graduated in 73. In 1972, he was named Athlete of the Year. He was Most Valuable Player. 3 out of 4 years he ran track here for RIO. So a lot of you may know Bobby, and he will be our motivational speaker. He actually just retired as a teacher. He had a huge, extensive career in education, just retired from the Chillicothe school system, and is proud to be coming back to RIO to serve as our speaker. That program will take place from 10 to 11:15, and that's targeted toward our freshman students. So our students are really going to get to hear some motivational words from Dr. Lawson about why they should stay in school and how important it is to get a successful degree and have a great career, and why that's important. So even if you are not a student and you want to attend, you should definitely come out from 10 to 11:15 that morning. Following that, we will have our Alumni Council meeting. Now, our Alumni Council is composed of RIO graduates that would like to represent their class and kind of keep their friends and their peers in the know. So we're represented by a council of 7 people, but we're currently looking for new members. So if you're a RIO graduate and you're actually interested in, hey, what's really going on? I want to be the first to know about what's going on with the association and what they're doing, whether it's event planning or trying to reach out or working on mailings, then consider coming to this meeting. It'll be held at noon to 2 p.m. and it's actually going to be a luncheon meeting, so we'll serve you lunch and we'll tell about what we're doing and what our goals are for the upcoming academic year, and that's going to take place in the boardroom here on campus. But if you'd like more information, be sure to call me, and I'll give you my number at the end of the show. Also that day, we're going to have a wonderful award ceremony where we're recognizing 6 individuals. We are actually going to represent or recognize our Alumni Award winners. You'll see here in the picture, the top is Chad Lambert. He is going to be our Distinguished Alumnus Award. We also have Jessica Lawhon. She is our Atwood Achievement Award. Some of you may recognize Ellen Brazel there in the bottom left. She was a former educator here, and she is receiving this year's URG Alumni Award, and our URG Faculty Award is actually going to Vicki Crabtree, who currently works here. So we're very excited to be honoring these folks and hearing about the presenters that are going to talk about them, and hearing their remarks and watching them get their award. And if you would like to maybe submit your congratulations to these folks, we'd like to hear from you as well. So get out that cell phone and turn it vertically, horizontally, and take a video and send it in to us, and we can blast that up on the slideshow that we're actually working on for the show. We need those submissions by September 1st if you do plan to do so. Also that day, we're very excited to be presenting the class of 2018 Educators Hall of Fame. This year's inductees are Linda Bauer, and I'm sure many of you have wonderful fond memories of Linda. Our selection committee had a pretty easy task of selecting Linda to be in this year's Educators Hall of Fame. And this award actually just came back. The last time we awarded the Educators Hall of Fame was in 2011, and that was Dr. Larry Spees, who was on this year's selection committee. And Linda also got chosen to be inducted alongside T. Michael Rhodes. And T. Michael Rhodes had a wonderful career here at Rio Grande, and we're very excited to be hearing from Mike and to hear about what he has to say about his time here at Rio. So be sure that you come out for that. That will take place in Berry Fine and Performing Arts from 3 to 4:30. We do ask that you RSVP for that event because we have a small reception following that. So that pretty much wraps up Founders Day. We're going to honor our founders. We're going to present out some awards. We're going to have a fun luncheon with our Developing Alumni Council. So be sure that you call me to find out more information about that. I'll give you my phone number now. It is 740-245-7431. You can call me or you can email me. My email is dedwards@rio.edu. So it's dedwards@rio.edu. So I hope to hear from you, whether you want to be involved in our council, whether you'd like to RSVP. And again, send those videos in to me. It's that same email, or call me if you have more questions about Founders Day. So that concludes what we're doing in September. This weekend, actually, we have students moving in for Welcome Weekend. And the Alumni Association, past year, we actually sponsored a dinner for our new incoming students. And we have Steve Forgy, who is a graduate, who is actually providing that meal for us. He's bringing in barbecue. He's going to give us chicken and pork loin and slaw and baked beans. It's going to be a great dinner, and that's going to be at the soccer field from 5 to 7 this Saturday. So we really encourage our students, if you're watching, to please come out and find out a little bit about the Alumni Association. You may be a freshman and thinking, hey, I'm not going to graduate for 4 years, but you really should still come out and take part in our Welcome Weekend barbecue. So right there is our Facebook page. I really want to encourage anyone that's on Facebook to please go and like this page. It's facebook.com/Rio Alum. We put every bit of information on there that's in this program today or anything upcoming in this program. I post on there daily. I will actually probably blow up your news feed, but you probably still want to tune in to see what's coming up. We post on there when our chapter events are going to be. We post on there if we have special awards or recognitions that we're hoping to get out there to the public, so you can actually send in your nominations. It's just a great page to follow to stay in contact with Rio and what's going on. So I highly encourage you to like our page and to follow us. Another way that you can get engaged is we're actually going to be on Twitter soon, so stay tuned for that, and Instagram. So I know a lot of you may have Facebook, but you may also have Twitter and Instagram. And in our next segment next month, I'll be able to provide you with that information. So be sure to stay tuned for that if you're on those social media outlets. I'd also like to talk to you about some contests on Facebook. So if you go back to that page, you can see what we have coming up, monthly contests. So this is really fun. This is just like a fun type of way to get your engagement. It has no cost to you whatsoever. So each month I try to do a different type of event or something to intrigue your interest. Like for instance, in June and July, we had a traveling storm contest. We had asked all of our alums, if you're traveling this summer, take along with you the Red Storm logo and take a picture wherever you are. We had some really fabulous submissions. Right there in the bottom screen, you can see Dina Warren, who is our Dean of Students. She actually went to California and took some photos with the Hollywood sign and King Kong and had a wonderful time. But you can see in her hand right there, she had the Red Storm logo. We also had some alums that traveled to the beach. We had alums that went on a cruise and sent in their pictures, and it was really fun. So what we did with those is we took all those photo submissions and we put them on Facebook, and we said, hey, whatever photo gets the most like wins a free t-shirt. We had a lot of participation, and we hope that you participated, or if you're listening and think you want to participate in the next contest, I'll tell you about that as well. So in August, which is this month, we are actually going to have your Welcome Weekend memory. So how about send me some photos of when you moved into Rio, when you were moving in Davis Hall and walking up those stairs with your pillows and your cabinets and everything you had to carry. Send us those photos. Send us photos of a group of you on campus taking a tour. Whatever sparks your memory when you think about Rio and moving in, send us those photos. We're going to have that contest this month. And if you tune into Facebook, then you can find out when those deadlines are and actually when those submissions are due. Then in September, I'm really not for sure, but you can check that out on Facebook. But I know in October, we would like to see your photos from Bob Evans Farm Fest. So we all have fond memories of when you were at Rio and you attended the Bob Evans Farm Festival. You may have worked if you were an athlete. I remember I did. I was on the dance team, and we always had to take admission at the door or take admission from the cars that were parking, and it was really a lot of fun. So think back to Bob Evans Farm Festival weekend and that time that you had with your family or your friends that may have came in to see you, and send us those photos. We're all about hearing your stories, sharing with us your memories. And everyone's story is different, and that's what I love about my job. When I meet alums from different areas, whether they walk into my office or I'm traveling to see them, everyone has a different story. But the best part of that is everyone has fond memories of Rio, and they love to share with me their stories. I remember one story. Someone told me they used to maybe jump out of a window in Boyd Hall, or there was something and someone got in trouble, and it was a lot. It was pretty funny. There's always something to learn about back in the day, and that's what you get a lot of us. Back in my day, we did this, and of course things like that don't really happen on campus now, but you may have a story you want to share with me. You can even call me to tell me your story. I love to hear that information. So we also have a website, and I don't really have a picture of that, but if you go to www.rio.edu, there is an alumni tab page. And if you're technology savvy, you can click on that page, and every bit of information will be pulled up right there in front of your screen. It'll tell you about our chapters, our monthly contests, the alumni that we're awarding, and actually how to nominate someone for an award. So all that information is out there on Facebook, on the website, or you can call me and I'll be happy to give that to you. So one more thing that we have coming up is homecoming, and that is going to be November 16th and 17th of this year. So that's a Friday and Saturday. That entire week we'll actually be doing things with our current students on campus. We have a student engagement coordinator who is working on planning events and different days and ways to dress up and partake in events. So we'll have games going on, a lot of fun. But for our alumni, we're really focusing on engaging you and hearing about what you would like to take part in. This year we would love to do something for the kids. We are actually considering doing inflatables and something, so when you bring your family back, there's something for your kids to do as well. As always, we will have the tailgating event, which takes place around noon on Saturday. We don't have a complete schedule, but I do know of some other things that we're doing during homecoming. In our next segment, we'll actually have a complete schedule. Hopefully, we'll have that done to be able to share with you so you can take part in all the homecoming events. But on Saturday evening at 6 p.m. we'll recognize our Athletic Hall of Fame winners, and those are John Lawhorn, Jessica Ross Heron, and Tyler Shunk. So those are 3 members that will be inducted into this year's Hall of Fame, and I'll have more information on that in my next segment next month. But be sure you stay tuned for everything that's coming up homecoming related. Make plans now to attend. I will tell you that hotels in the area do tend to book up because that's also the Bevo Francis Classic tournaments, when we have over a dozen teams that come in to play our Rio teams and one another. So if you are planning to attend homecoming, you may have to book in Jackson or Gallipolis for hotels, but we do hope that you join us. You can also join us through social media. We'll be broadcasting live all of our events, including Founders Day on September 11th, again, just to repeat that. But November 16th and 17th for homecoming, we'll be sending out pictures and postcards and mailings to try to get you engaged in that. And if you cannot attend, be sure to tune in on social media so you can follow us and see what we're doing. So really, what else is there about the Rio Grande Alumni Association? Well, there's a lot. We actually have a brochure that we can send to you that tells you a little bit about Rio Grande Alumni Association. It tells you exactly what we do, tells you about everything I covered in today's segment, how to contact me. If you would like something like this, we can absolutely send that to you. We also do newsletters, and this is something that we do electronically and through the mail. You can actually sign up to receive the electronic monthly newsletter on our website. You just go go right back to us talking www.ria.edu, click the Alumni tab, and find the newsletter. In there, you'll type in your first name, your last name, and your email. And every month, you will get a newsletter that tells you about what we have going on or what's happened. For instance, in last month's newsletter, I included information from the baseball alumni golf outing that we had. And I talked with Jeff Lanham, our athletic director, about this on Eye of the Storm last month. And we had a wonderful turnout. We had about 40 baseball alums that came out to see one another who haven't seen each other since the last year's baseball tournament. And we're actually making plans to do that again next spring. So be sure to stay tuned for that. So it'll include in there lots of pictures from either Greeks or fraternities getting together, sororities that have their reunions. I know that the Alpha Mu Betas just had 53 years. This is actually a picture of the baseball guys, and what a wonderful group of guys that came out. They were fed, they had a wonderful time golfing, and really the money that they raised just went back into the golf. There was really no purpose for the fundraising. It was just for them to get together, for the fellowship and the stewardship, and what a great group of guys. So I look forward to seeing all of them, and if you're a baseball alumni, I really hope that you turn out for next year's event. So yeah, so I'm excited, and I really hope that you are interested in the Grande Alumni Association. I know I just kind of touched base on an overview of what we do, but there is truly so much more. I am actually involved in a veterans organization here on campus where October 27th, we will have the Jim Marshall Veteran of the Year Award, and we actually just had our selection committee meeting. I cannot release the name of this year's honoree yet, but I will have that information in our next segment. So one more thing for you to stay tuned for. And I really hope that you are interested, whether you're a former athlete that would like to get involved with your current program, whether you are a class of 65 that's interested in some reunion information that we'll be having this year, whether you're just a recent graduate and you want to update me on what you're doing with your life now, whether you went on to graduate school, whether you started a family, whether you've moved. I need to know that information. I would like to know that information so we can kind of keep our database accurate. We also do quarterly mailings, and this is a mailing that we try to do to those who we don't have a current email address on file with. This goes out every 4 months and includes in there all the information I would put in an email newsletter along with some other information. So I really hope that you either are signed up for the email newsletter or would like to request a quarterly mailing. Some other mailings that my office may do is we might do some solicitations, and this is purely to get your engagement with RIO. The money that you would send in for a solicitation actually goes to our RIO annual fund. This is an unrestricted fund where we can decide what we can best use the dollars for. So when you get a Decade Alumni Challenge, which you'll be getting here towards the end of the year, consider donating. And I think this is really fun because you don't have to give a lot to participate. You actually, even if you give $1, we enjoy and appreciate you taking part in that. So I'm a class of 2010 graduate, and my husband is a class of 2011 graduate. So we send in $20.10 to represent myself and $20.11 to represent his class year. So each decade is represented. So the 70s usually is like the best class ever. They have tons of alumni that are giving, and usually they win. And we have a really cool award. And hey, 2000 grads, I would like for us to win that award this year. So if you're a graduate of 2000, be sure when you get that Decade Alumni Challenge, you're sitting in $20.01 or $20.17, whatever it is, so we can get that award this year, because I think it'd be really cool for some young alumni to take part and to actually win and beat those 70s grads. So be watching for that. We also are working on our RIO Pride Report. This is the annual report that will tell of all of fiscal year's donors. So that'll be going out probably next month. We're actually working on that right now. And so if you've given in the past from June 2017, I apologize, to July 2017 to June 2018, I'm so sorry, then be watching for that, because that will have your name in there and about how much, and then you'll be listed under what you gave. So be watching for that. We're really excited about that. We have 3 stories that we're going to highlight in that segment. Dr. Robert Lawson will be one of them. Our Alumni Heritage Room will be one, and we're also going to feature the Delma Roush Scholarship. back to the Alumni Heritage Room. This is one last thing I want to talk about before our segment ends. This is our project that we're working on through our Institutional Advancement Office. We're working on an alumni wall that will feature the history from Rio Grande from beginning to end. It'll have in there the Redmond, it'll have in there the bell tower, it'll have in there the Red Storm logo. So all of our logos and our history and pictures from the past to present will be represented on this wall. And you can partake in that wall by buying name recognition. We have 3 different levels of name recognition. It starts at $10,000. We have a $5,000 giving level and a $1,000 giving level. And we really hope that you take part in this. This is a one-time thing for you to take part in. So whether you want to honor someone, whether you want to get your former athlete team together, whether your name would just like to be on that wall, consider contacting us and we can send you more information about that. It's a fabulous project. We're going to transform Conference Room C into this beautiful Alumni Heritage Room. So when you come to campus, you have a place for you to go. Homecoming will have a dedication, but you can actually give all the way up until June 2019. But please call us now for more information on that so we can send you a pledge card and how you can become involved. We'll also send you detailed information about the different plaque sizes for the different giving levels. So again, I'm going to give you my contact information. I'm going to encourage you to partake in our upcoming events, whether it's Founders Day, a chapter event, or homecoming. Again, I really hope to see you and I really hope that we get your involvement in the Rio Grande Alumni Association. Again, if you're a student watching and you're just finding out about us, in 4 years, I promise not to bother you too bad, but I really will encourage you as you go through that graduation line before you go through commencement. I'll be giving you information about the Rio Grande Alumni Association, how you become a free member at no charge whatsoever as soon as you walk out those doors. So again, my name is Delyssa Edwards. I am the Director of Alumni Relations here. My phone number is 740-245-7431 and my email is dedwards@rio.edu. So dedwards@rio.edu, extension 7431. I hope to hear from you soon. Send me an email, give me a call, share your stories with us. We would love to hear from you. So stay tuned for our next segment, which will be coming up in September. We will give you an overview again of Founders Day. We'll talk more about homecoming, and we'll see you soon on the campus of the University of Rio Grande.